Think of nothing else when you want to win. No backup mood, no second plan, no maybe tomorrow. You show up tired, you still do it. You show up stressed, you still do it. You show up doubting yourself, you still do it. And so what you have to do is to give yourself a single direction and a simple target. And also not giving your mind a second chance for other thoughts. So we have your target, and here, single-minded. This is the most important thing what you need to understand when it comes about being biased when you have your target, right? So this is the crucial bit. The target. You need to have something to aim for, something to strive for, and this becomes your target. It's like you want to work on your business, or you want to go to the gym, or it's like you give yourself something to do and you want to do it. Something really important that you know is good for your future and other people around you's future, right? So we have the target. But what single-minded means? Single-minded, it's simply thinking, okay? Thinking about the target only. That's what it does. So that's what single-minded is, thinking about the target only. You make it as simple as possible for you, so you can only allow in your mind just the target. For example, you want to go to the gym, or you want to sit down and upload your listings. So that becomes your target, right? You have a lot of enemies to deal with, I would say. And those are your brain, if you haven't done it, the conditioning, the beliefs, and your perception, and so many more. But let's say this is your target, right? Upload. For instance, we have making content and listings. What you have to do in this case, you pick the thing you want to do and you don't like to do, basically, and you become single-minded on that purpose. What it says is you only think about the target and nothing else. It's as simple as possible. For example, I had an instance where I had to go to the gym and it was raining and I ride a bike, and my mind started going in all directions, and I said to myself, look, we gotta go to the gym. And we went, but I could only achieve that by becoming single-minded, not thinking about the rain, not thinking about getting wet or getting something else, you know. It was like I became the person who actually thought about the target only. So when you have your listings to do or your content to do, your mind can conjure so many things that will basically put you on the side of the thing you have to do. For some reason, it does it. So your mind is gonna come up with a lot of excuses or reasons, I would rather say, than for stopping you achieving your target, be it whatever you want to do. In a way, you have to negotiate with your mind. You gotta step inside yourself and lead yourself from the self, not from the ego or a surface perspective, the way you perceive things. No, be actually grounded in yourself. And look at the target and what you have to do, right? When you're making what you have to do. Look at the target clearly, because that becomes your fuel, your vision, right? And the moment you become focused on the target, you'll need to become single-minded. What that means is that you must not allow your mind to come with those thoughts to intrude in your target. Let's call them reasons for not doing the work. Okay? So you will have to negotiate in your mind with yourself about the thing you're about to do. And this becomes your discipline, you know? That's discipline in a nutshell. This is how you become more disciplined as a man. You only give yourself the chance to think about the target only. Try it. You will be astounded when you give the mind no chance, right? So this is you channeling the energy. You funnel it down. This is thought energy. Not sure if you can see it. Energy, yes? Pouring down. So you have the energy pouring down and you're focusing it on the purpose or the target. The moment you do this, you don't allow yourself to think about anything else. This purpose begins to expand, right? This is when the magic happens. You accumulate so much emotion from seeing the target only, then your purpose becomes your behavior now, which is driven from the emotion. And we know that emotion is your vibration and your energy. And now the thing you are about to do, not necessarily liking it, becomes a more pleasant experience. And not only that, it's gonna grow you as a person because you're proud of yourself because you've achieved something you didn't want to do. And also now you have vibration and power behind it. So everything is gonna be done through a lens where you have clarity and perspective. Don't be mistaken here. Don't listen to people that forcing yourself to do a thing is bad for you. No, that's actually good because we thrive on that as society and as human beings. So your target, it might not be something you like. Again, I'm saying, becomes enjoyable now because you've restricted the thought energy and you've channeled down the perspective and the focus. But in order to focus on your target, you need to loosen up a bit. That is, okay, you consider the perspective and the whole process. Remember, you need to consider the whole process. What's the process? Basically, you take away the attention from yourself, from the ego, from how the mind thinks. This is crazy if you haven't done it before. But you will need to see how your mind thinks as an observer, as a separate entity. Looking at yourself as a separate entity in your mind before you do this whole process. And then take on that perspective where you see how you can control your mind through this process, right? Giving yourself a target and becoming super focused on what you have to do and doing that, right? When you do this defocusing stuff and actually engage with yourself, yeah, this is what I'm about to do because I'm controlling my brain and my neurology, which is distinct of what I want, and it acts on itself to a certain degree, by itself to be more precise. And now I'm getting some form of control on it just by taking a larger perspective, right? I'm taking a larger perspective. This is your perspective from defocusing. This is your perspective from defocusing. This is step number 1. And then this process is step number 2. So you start with defocusing. Defocusing, I said what it is. You basically focus on the whole thing you're about to do. That is the fact that I'm disengage my attention from my mind wanting to control me, bringing all the reasons for not doing the thing, and actually focusing on the whole process and how can I control my mind by becoming single-minded, not giving the mind a chance, but becoming a clear funnel and then channeling all that energy towards my target. If you start playing with you using this technique, you will be amazed by how your subconscious mind will pick up on those finer vibrations of anger, of actually channeling, to be more precise, of all that drive, and you're gonna focus it on something you don't want to do. And if this becomes your second nature, this becomes also your habit, and you're gonna be a different identity at the end of the day. One that can take on challenges and also targets, right? Difficult, that requires more time. What do you say about this? I think it's crazy. Try it and try it, right? The most important thing here in this video is this, because we all have a target. That's why it's important. You all have something to do. You will always have something to do, but you will need to know how to control. First of all, defocus, and then select your target, pick your target, and then become single-minded, thinking about the target only. And that's how you become a master, by taking it step by step. If you have any questions or comments or observations, please leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to respond to them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.